welcome to our Steve Judd. As you can see, he's on a bit of a pilgrimage on his walking path.
Yeah, walking around the
That's
world.
in my mind, walking back to something, walking, but anyway,
Walking back to happiness. Yeah, walking around the world.
walking back to happiness. Anyway, so I'm static, but have you noticed that we're both in similar colours? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, we
So,
spent hours on it. We spent hours with our fashion designers before we started.
anyway, welcome to our Steve Judd. And today we've decided we're going to talk about chaos and motivation because I don't know about you out there, but Steve and I are feeling a little bit, oh, what on earth is going on? So, where should we start, Steve?
Well, I think the first thing we need to start with is the fact that it's a crazy world out there.
Absolutely.
Not just big picture with a Saturn Neptune conjunction,
Yeah.
and Jupiter just moved into Cancer a few hours ago. But
Yes.
it's full moon, and we've got a hell of a Mars square Uranus going on at the end of the fixed signs. So yeah, it's a crazy world.
Yeah, I'm expecting something financial to start blasting out of the shadows. I don't know about you. Something's on its way.
Yeah, yeah.
Lie and all these lies and everything that's been kept down. It's Jeffrey Epstein's story is coming into my mind again. I think that's going to be a rerun. Well, it is rerun, but it's been pushed back down again now at the moment.
And there's this thing around chaos at the moment. I mean, I have to say, I've been just struggling recently. I've been quite sick in the last few weeks. And when I've been sick, I've been actually laying on my back and doing a lot of thinking. But it's not thinking in terms of, okay, what am I going to do next? How's this going to happen? It's thinking about the bigger picture. And all my life, I've considered myself someone who works with free will, self-determination, choice. All of my chart is on the left, and left-hand side people are generally more free will orientated, while right-hand side are more generally fatalistic. But I've found myself as I'm getting older, becoming more and more involved in the fine-tuning of semantics and looking at the difference between fate and destiny. Slight difference between them.
Oh, there is.
There is. And
Yeah,
I'm
oh, yes.
getting into this idea of destiny.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to do certain things. I'm going to do them. It's going to happen, guaranteed. Whether the way I do it, whether I do it willingly or kicking and screaming, is negotiable.
I think our destiny has a kind of theme. I feel it's like a calling.
Yeah.
It's a sort of calling, and I'm called out to meet my destiny. I can't ignore it. And it's sort of like if I do, and I have ignored it in my life when I was much younger. And there was this discomfort. I knew, and I kept on thinking, when is my life going to start?
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
60. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is this thing around from an astrological perspective that links with the North Node, I think. Because we all, even as seasoned astrologers, we strive towards our North Node. We strive consciously. I've got to fulfill my purpose. But it seems like the more we push towards the North Node, the more we live our South Node.
It's a big jump, isn't it, from the south? That comfortable jumper. I know I'm in my patterns, but it's just too hard to jump out of that and go to and go into this unknown area that I'm being called to. It's huge jump. It's huge.
Where's your South Node?
I've got South Node in Leo, and then Node conjunct my Sun in Aquarius. So my journey of destiny has all been about pride and arrogance.
What house though?
Oh, ninth and third. So it's all about being communication. I know I've been some form of big philosopher in a past life, used to being paid attention to. And this lifetime, it's all about learning humility and actually discerning understandable information
while
for
still
the
teaching the
community.
world.
Huh?
While still teaching the world.
Yeah. What about you? Where's yours?
My South Node is on my midheaven in Gemini in the 10th house.
Is it?
And I'm out there talking to the world and teaching the world astrology. And my North Node's in Sag in the 4th house. And yeah, all my life I've wanted my own home. And I've never really had a normal family. So, and these are things that have always somehow, they always seem to just slip through my fingers when I'm close to getting them. My lifetime ambition has been to own my own home. I've never had it. And now I'm past the days where they'll give me a mortgage. So the only way I'm going to get my own home is to buy it outright.
But if it's Jupiter, then in the fourth, I would think that's more to do with, oh, maybe it is understanding that home isn't just bricks and mortar, that home is actually the heart and wherever you are, and you take your home with you. That
Indeed, that's
makes
it.
sense. And you've traveled a lot.
Yeah, and well, North Node in Sag along with my moon.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
that would make sense.
yeah,
The faith in the fact that you'll always find safety wherever you are, you'll always find home wherever you are. So it isn't about being static.
yeah.
That would massively make sense, wouldn't it?
But this thing about fate and destiny, fate, I really don't like the idea of fate. You're fated to do this. Right. No, I'm not. um, destiny, yeah, I can live with that. But when you bring in, I hesitate to use the word magic because it's so vastly both misused and misunderstood. When you bring in the chaos of day-to-day life,
Yeah. Yeah.
when you look at what's going on in the sky at any given time, when it's all lovely, when it's all quiet, when there's lots of unaspected planets, and when there's not unaspected, it's all trines with maybe one or two little squares and a lot of sextiles, and you think, oh, this is really nice. That's when it gets really cranky because there's nothing stimulating it,
Ex-
and
exactly. But
it's
you
when
know,
it's all squares and oppositions that you have to get up and do things,
yeah.
and that makes you more effective. But the other side of that, as we talked about earlier, is lethargy.
Hmm.
There's a lot of that around at the moment. I don't know
Yeah.
what you think, but
Yeah, I think this Neptunian dissolving of
yeah,
something, it's really talking to our souls. It's
yeah,
soul deep, isn't it? It's I think it's the breaking down of what we thought was safe and structured, and we knew the world. We knew our world. I knew my world. It was like listening to Radio 4. It was that traditional. I trusted it. I'd go to Greece for my holidays or whatever. It was really normal, whatever normal is, by the way. And now it's not. It's unknown. Everything is unknown, and that's very unsettling for us
yeah, I agree with you.
species.
Yeah, itchy and scratchy. Yeah,
Mm.
um, yeah. It's like it's. I see what's happening in the world around me.
Uh,
I see what's presented to me on all the different news channels. Some news channels are more interested in the propaganda and the hype and spin, but there's a consensus which can be formed the more you watch.
mm.
And there's a field that says don't watch the news, but then that's just no, that's escapism. Um, and I still find it feels unsatisfying. It feels as if we're still trying to cling on desperately more and more to the old ways, becoming more and more extreme, still in the idea of maintaining the status quo. And it feels like everything is slipping, everything's dissolving, and the new hasn't come in yet.
And it's not going to come in for a while.
Oh,
We
I don't
haven't
know about
evolved
that.
yet.
I can't. I mean, it's only what 4 weeks now till Uranus moves into Gemini.
Yes.
Good time. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I
That's
think
sneaking up on us, that one.
we've got to be terribly careful about what we believe and actually what we say and what we feed into the zeitgeist. So, about there's going to be so many conspiracy theories thrown around. And the media is going to go crazy. Well, it's crazy anyway. I think we're going to have to be terribly careful about what we say and what we believe, what we're told, especially with by so-called spiritual gurus. Everyone's channeling at the moment. The bloody dog is, the table is. I'm very, very skeptical about all of that. I'm
I
sure.
find myself in the last 6 months really talking a lot more about the absence of truth and
Yes.
not just truth in terms this is true or that isn't true, but what actually is truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you and I have both got a lot of Sagittarius, so perhaps we're a little bit more esoterically minded when it comes to debating the notion of truth.
Mm,
But at the end of the day, it seems that the only way you can ever know truth is to know it in yourself, to be true to yourself.
that's it. Know thyself. Those were the words written above, the temple at Delphi, and also what Pythagoras said. All
And
those
also the Buddha.
Buddha, all of them. Know thyself. That's the
Yeah,
most important thing we can do for ourselves.
yeah, yeah. But with a mixture of the chaos that's going on around us. But with chaos, you get randomicity. And from randomicity, yes, you get absolute disorder, but you also get little moments of magic.
Well,
What's
Uranus is that.
happened?
I always think Uranus is those sparks of insight that oh my God, I've got it, or it's that sudden vision, isn't it? Or that sudden feeling. That's what I've got to do. And going into Gemini, that could happen to a lot of people. They might start actually seeing the way forward.
No, wake up.
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, we have got that Mars Uranus square at the moment, 28, 29 degrees, Taurus, Leo, and that's like almost like the desperate hanging on to the final stuck, fixed, rigid patterns. And then there's
Yeah.
going to be a sudden crack.
Yeah.
They both move into Gemini and Virgo.
Ooh, and the Virgo is going to want to disseminate everything, isn't it? It's going to let's get down with the details, and then Uranus is going to go bingo. Let's just blow
There's lot
all
new
this out.
talking, got new words, new information, new ideas.
Yeah, technology.
Indeed. Yeah.
Isn't it interesting? It's all. I mean, we don't want to do the what did you call them? Frump and Trump.
Pump and Trusk.
But it's so interesting that they're on the world stage, kind of being the almost like the symbol of the chaos and the breakups that are happening at the moment, the
They're lightning
dissolving of
rods.
things. They're absolutely manifesting in their experience of relationship exactly how our relationship with the world is happening. They're the microcosm of the macrocosm, in my understanding of what's happening.
Yeah, but
Chaos.
you can't catch lightning in a bottle.
No, no, I find it absolutely riveting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've been saying for weeks to people on YouTube, like, get your popcorn out. This is going to be a good show, this one. And it's going to be
Yeah.
over by solstice.
Yeah, do you think?
The drama, yeah, the drama's going to be over by solstice. For long-term effects, have got a long time to come.
Yeah, yeah. It's what do we want to say to people about this chaotic feeling and this feeling of sometimes lack of motivation, or what's the point, or this is all so crazy, I just don't know how to enter into it anymore, or I've got 6 kids and how am I going to feed them? There's a lot of fear going on at the moment as well, and it's how do you sit with that? How do you, as it's easy for us to say get the popcorn out and sit on the bench, but people have got to live and provide sustenance for family, pay their mortgage.
Yes.
You know, that's scary stuff.
Yes. And there's a lot of people feeling very deflated, even defeated, because there seems to be no way forward at the
Mm,
moment.
mm,
And I'm
mm.
not going to patronize people, but it is always darkest before dawn. And with Neptune doing its dissolving at the moment,
Yeah.
the old has to go before the new can come in.
Yes.
The new
But it's
can't come in if it's got to negotiate old baggage.
no, absolutely not. But it's not going to clear until after 26, because all that Neptune the Neptune Saturn conjunction isn't really going to happen till early 26, and then there's going to be time of that separating out. So we've got a year of increasing chaos, I would imagine. And I don't know where you're with that.
I'd say about 8 months.
8 months.
I'd say 8, 9 months, yeah. Because
Yeah,
once it clears Neptune, it'll clear fast. Because then
that's
it's going to move into the middle of Aries, well away from Neptune.
That's true, but all of the outer planets then will be in air and earth, air and fire signs. Now, this is a very, very different feeling from the sort of the heavy earth water. So, how do you think? So, the for me, I would imagine the world is going to be. We are going to be experiencing it very, very differently. We're
We
going
are.
to feel out of control, I think.
Um, I mean, it's always jam tomorrow with astrology,
Hmm.
but I'm already, with Jupiter moving into Cancer today, I'm already looking forward to Jupiter moving into Leo
Oh, yes.
in a year from now,
In an hour, in a year.
because then we'll have all five of the outer planets in air and fire.
Yeah.
And that will be interesting.
Yeah. So this time next year, Jupiter will be moving into Leo. So
Yeah.
it is a year then,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's that kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
And then we
So
just and then that's going to be very expansive. We're going to be very interesting to see what happens to our world leaders as well.
I don't give a monkeys about them. I really don't. I'm more interested in people like you, me, and the people who are watching this, the real people, not the facilities, not the fakes.
But we need the real people to start stepping up.
Right. So at the
Start to,
moment, the more you stick your head above the water, the more you're going to get shot
yeah,
down,
yeah, that's
as we're
true.
seeing in different cities in the world at the moment.
Yes.
So what can you do right now? We said at the start of this, we're going to be talking about chaos.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've been, this sounds awful, we've been bred, BRED, for 2,000 years into a kind of following the doctrine, regardless of what the doctrine is. But never forget, we're unlike any species that's ever lived on this planet. There's never been anything like us. There's never been a species that can laugh at itself or anticipate futures like we can. And that
Yeah.
gives us an edge that no other species has ever had. And sometimes we've got to remember that we've got that edge. And that's why I say to people, when everything's landing on top of you, when it's all depressing, when it's dark and it's doom laden,
Journey.
you can lay down and be defeated, or you can do something totally radical, extraordinary, and completely out of the blue and completely break free of that pattern. And all it takes is dance. Dancing is such good
Yeah.
therapy.
And also remember to look up. It's
Yes,
really hard to feel depressed when you look up. But the other thing is to understand that you're going through the alchemical journey of from the dark into the light. And it's walking the fire. And we're doing it individually, but we're also doing it collectively. And it's to remember you're not alone. We're all
exactly.
walking with you.
The world is walking with you. I'm
Yeah.
not joking about dance and looking up to the skies, because both of these are inspirational and they bring joy.
Yes.
You can't help it. You put on your favorite bit of music, and regardless of your physical condition, you can still shake your arms and even your toes and maybe
Yeah.
tap on your feet and dance. And dance is, it brings joy into the body.
Yeah. And you know, Steve, I want to just bring in this. I don't know if you've seen Oceans yet. It's very interesting.
With
It's
it,
just,
yeah.
yeah, it's just come out because as Neptune and Saturn are together, it's David Attenborough's. I think it'll be his finale, really, but it's directed by a wonderful young man called Toby Nowlan, and he's telling the stories of the oceans and how we've absolutely trashed them. And then he's talking about these areas that have been of conservation and how the life is bouncing back. So what he's basically saying is that by taking responsibility about what we do to the oceans, life will come back. It will. And I think it's a wonderful metaphor for the chaos that we're experiencing in our human condition. We have totally trashed parts of our being and our psyche, but give it attention and give it love and respect, and we will come back in a different way, but we will. And I think
We,
that's what gives me hope.
me too. Now I've got a bit of news for you.
Oh gosh, I love a good bit of news.
Well, I'm not sure it's good, but it's
Oh,
interesting and it's stimulating and it's something brand new.
okay.
To the best of my knowledge, I'm going to be the very first person in the world ever. I'm giving a talk at Kensington Town Hall on the Friday, God, what's today? Today's the 10th, 11, 12, 13, Friday the 20, I don't know, 6th, 5th, 6th,
Yeah.
7th of June at an inaugural artificial intelligence conference with some of the top people from the UN and the artificial intelligence world. And I'm talking about how astrology and artificial intelligence can integrate in a way that's going to make astrology the emerging lingua franca, the lingua franca of the emerging consciousness revolution.
Now that's
Astrology and
brilliant.
AI can interface in a way that can help people understand themselves, not just intellectually, but consciously as well, in a way that's perhaps never happened before. I've yet to write the talk. I only
Yeah,
confirmed this gig a couple of days ago, but
yeah.
no one's ever, to my knowledge, really sat down and actually deliberately put out into the world a talk in the public forum on the interface between astrology and AI. So,
Yeah, that's
uh,
really cool. Because well, as we all know, AI is here, and we might as well learn how to use it well. I think that's absolutely brilliant. Can I do my own little brag?
go on then.
All right.
It's your show. It's our show.
It's
Cool.
our show. We can do what we want. So I'm so delighted. Shift Network, which is this big American organization, has invited me to run a 7-week course on astrology and mortality, reconnecting with the great cycle of life and death. And my work has always been about how do we talk about life and death? How do we talk about the dying process better? How do we open up to the fact that we are mortal, the fact that we are going to die? So they've never run anything like this before either. So I'm absolutely delighted, and it's going to be launching on the 7th of September, and then the 7-week course starts at the end of September, and I'll be telling people more about that nearer the time. So there
Well,
we are, two of us at it.
brilliant. Both of us bringing in new perspectives
Yeah,
on life, death, and intelligence.
yeah, absolutely. That's what it's
God,
all
you realise
about.
we've been burnt at the stake 300 years ago, don't you?
Oh, for sure. For absolutely sure. But I just think, the more that we address what the inevitable, like you're doing the AI, I think that's really important. And I'm doing our whole relationship with what mortality means to us, then, it opens up people's way of looking at things maybe differently. And that's all. Neither of us are fearmongers. And I like personally keeping my feet firmly on the ground. So, as I said to you, we've talked about this before. I'm not sure about all this
I'm
major
a bit wobbly at the moment because I'm on a wood pad, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
this fifth dimensional stuff. I don't know. I have no idea. But what we need is reality and really dealing what's in front of us in the physical form.
And dancing with chaos, because we are making a step up into an enhanced dimensional interface with the
Exactly.
cosmos and with the world around us.
Yeah.
Our dimensional capacity is expanding. And that's part of the consciousness
Yeah,
revolution.
absolutely. We are evolving. There's no question about that.
It's,
Oh, yeah, and I think it is important for people to really sign up the fact that, yes, it is scary out there. It's no question, but we have to go beyond this fear. We have to
yes.
actually be able to make positive changes. Otherwise, it just keeps us so small, and that doesn't serve anyone.
And that's why it's such a privilege to be an astrologer, practitioner, and
Yeah.
student at
Yes.
the time, because it does give us that enhanced perspective and a different way of seeing things,
Yeah.
which gives us hope.
Exactly. That might be a very good place to end today.
I think so.
What do you think? All right,
Yeah,
then.
it's a really
So,
good one. Hope. Hope is another thing that only humanity can have.
yes, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Whatever
Definitely.
that means, just sign up to hope because, yeah, we all need each other on that one. That's for sure.
Okay, well, I've only got another 24,980 miles to go. So
Are you walking the pilgrimage to Santiago? Oh my God, I've done that. That's an
I know
experience.
you have.
I think
Yeah.
on the back of a bicycle. I didn't actually walk it physically with my feet, but I did it on the back of a bicycle or on a tandem. All right then. So we'll see each other next week. No, we not next week, but when we see each other again.
Next time.
Yeah,
Cheers.
next time.
Keep hoping, keep smiling.
Bye for now.